Hello. Eat with me while I tell you about my PCOS journey. Side note, I am feeling sick right now. I literally just got back from Canada. Your girl's going through it. I'm so stuffy and I look crazy. So, just a disclaimer, I'm also eating such a random combination. I'm eating Lipton chicken noodle soup and sushi and some edamame and Gatorade and water. So, just so we know. Just so we're all on the same page of what's going on here. One sec, I need a little soup. So, I got diagnosed with PCOS, I'm gonna say a year and a half ago at this point. But prior to this, I hadn't been feeling myself for about 2.5 years. A few of the things that I noticed that kind of led me to get checked by a gynecologist, by a doctor, I had no emotion. When I tell you I couldn't cry, I couldn't like I could feel sad and I could feel happy, but I could not cry. I kind of just felt numb, which is very interesting because I'm not a numb person. I'm very expressive. I love my friends and family so deeply. I feel things very deeply. So this was a little odd to me. Sometimes it kind of felt nice because obviously, sometimes you're going through things and you're sad, but you don't actually cry. One sec, I'm just gonna get a spicy. Side note, this is from Noshi Sushi in LA. It's the best sushi place here. This is the spicy, crispy tuna. Oh. No, it's actually insane. The best sushi. Back to my topic. So, that was one thing. Second thing, my periods were so painful. When I tell you, I was like bedridden. Like I couldn't get out of bed. I would throw up. I couldn't eat anything. I was in so much pain. And this would last for like 3 days. Also, my boobs were so beyond sore. Never in my entire life have I ever felt like boob pain like this. Also, TMI, but I'm an itty bitty titty committee girl. I've never had big boobs, sadly. Would love that, but just was never in the cards for me. My boobs went from like an A to like a big C. And I was genuinely just shocked because I've never had that experience in my entire life. And at first I was like, okay, like, love, this is fun. And then it got to a point where I was like, this is a little bit odd, The next thing I noticed was I was gaining weight and I was not doing anything differently. Like, I was working out the same, eating the same. Like, it was just, I don't know, it couldn't stop. Like, I almost didn't even feel like weight gain. It felt like just water retention. Like, I just felt puffy all the time. Also, my face felt like a chipmunk. Like a literal, I kind of feel like a chipmunk right now, but I've been traveling and like, I'm sick, so allow it. But I just felt very off and uncomfortable in my body. That was very mukbang of me. Yeah, so that's kind of how it started. And I took this, it was honestly a collab. And this collab reached out to me and they're like, oh, we'd love to it's called at-home blood work. So they come do your at-home blood work. And then they give you all the results. And it was honestly really cool. So did that test. And one of the things came back really odd. It was called sex hormone globulin or something. And it was through the roof. And I was like, oh my God, there is something so beyond wrong with this. This is just my sign that I have to go and do something. And I was nervous. So I honestly put it off for years. Then I went to, honestly, my angel. I love her so much. I love her down. Shamsa Amersi in LA. She's in Santa Monica. She's an incredible gynecologist. So she did all of my blood work. She did internal hormone scans, everything. And she let me know that I do have PCOS from A, my hormone levels, and B, an internal ultrasound can show you, it's kind of gross, but it's called a string of black pearls. And so it's like around your ovaries. And I was also getting cysts. So she told me, okay, you have PCOS. It is a lifelong, like thing that you have. I don't want to call it a disease. I think it's more of a syndrome that they call it. But you have PCOS and it will be with you for the rest of your life. However, you can manage it. And these are some of the ways to manage it. So with her help, and I would recommend going to a gynecologist. Do not just take what I'm going to tell you, because everyone's hormones are different. So it doesn't matter if you take what I take, it might not even work for you. So get all of that sorted out. But I immediately went on inositol, which is great for insulin resistance, because people with PCOS have really bad like blood sugar spikes and insulin resistance. So did that. I went on FemGuard to get like my estrogen levels balanced. I also worked with a naturopath, so she put me on DIM. I was on B12 injections because I had low B12. And I also was doing castor oil packs, and I still do this like religiously. I'm so OCD with it. I do a castor oil pack every single night except for when I'm on my period. So I literally, you can get castor oil at Whole Foods, Target, Shoppers, literally anywhere. And I rub the oil literally from my neck to like my whole stomach, everything like down to my ovaries. I put on like a big nasty t-shirt that I don't care about, and then I sleep in it. And I mean, ladies, not only does it work for hormones and PCOS and everything, it makes you snatched. I'm gonna leave that with you guys. But it does make you snatched. Anywho, back to my story. I also overhauled my entire life. And I genuinely think that this is probably the most important thing that I did, because I definitely have not like an all or nothing personality, but I do kind of take things like intensely, I would say. So I love running, but I was running a lot, and I was doing high intensity workouts a lot, which, like, not saying they're not great, but for PCOS, they're really not that great. I also was not eating meat at the time, so I probably was not getting enough protein at all. And just in life, like, I think I was just honestly really stressed in life. So what I did was I completely stopped running. I pretty much now, I mean, I do the odd run, but like maybe only 10 to 15 minutes maximum. Sometimes it works for other people, sometimes it doesn't, but this is just personally what works for me. I do a 10 to 15 minute run max, but typically my days look like wake up, I have hopefully a decaf coffee. I've tried to cut out all caffeine because that does raise your hormone spike in the morning. However, if I am gonna have a coffee or a matcha, I have a little bite of a protein bar, of a meat stick, of a protein shake, just something so that's not the first thing in my stomach. And then I will do a 40-minute walk, and I will do an at-home 20 to 15-minute Pilates, and I absolutely love it, and that has worked for me. And almost immediately, I would say, doing all of these things within a month, my inflammation just like, I was like, oh my God. And I also increased my meat intake drastically. So at first, I mean, I only had fish pretty much and like veggie stuff for years up until this point. So I gradually started introducing turkey and then chicken, and then like I saw pepperoni on a pizza one day and I was like, that looks actually like, my mouth is like salivating, I must try that. So I had that, and then I started introducing beef and burgers, and like, when I tell you I eat a burger once to twice a week, I eat so much protein every single day. If you had told me this years ago, I would have literally dropped dead to the ground and just been in shock. So I really overhauled my whole diet. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was very strict on dairy, sugar, and gluten and protein, because I was like, I need to get my my life together. So I was eating lots and lots of protein, lots of veggies, lots of good fats, and I wasn't really having any dairy, any gluten, any sugar, except for berries. But then the more that I've kind of transitioned with my PCOS and I've learned to manage it, and it's been a year and a half, I would say 6 months ago is when I really started more introducing dairy and a little bit of gluten and sweets. Like I sometimes at this point I kind of eat like a toddler. I love chicken tenders and I love mac and cheese and I love like ice cream and cookie dough and all of that stuff. However, I've gotten to such an amazing place, mental and food wise, where I make sure that I'm managing my PCOS while also allowing myself to live life and enjoy foods. So whether that's being like, this morning I really want a matcha, but I'm gonna have a bite of a meat stick before I have my matcha. Or whether that's like, damn, I really want like a Jersey Mike's sandwich for lunch and I really feel like the gluten today, I'll eat the Jersey Mike sandwich for lunch, but I'll get lots of meat on it. I'll get lots of turkey, I'll get lots of veggies, I'll get lots of cheese, I'll get lots of whatever, and make sure that it's really, really, really substantial. And maybe I'll only have half of it so the gluten doesn't really OD on my stomach. You know, I really kind of just make everything work for myself. And I also think managing blood sugar levels with PCOS has a lot to do with that, because if I was eating the way I am now a year and a half ago, my body would have just gone into a spiral, truly. And I think it's one of those things that you really need to manage. So even though I've been managing my PCOS, I did have a cyst that burst like 8 months ago, and I had to go to the hospital, and it was really painful and really scary, and I almost had to have surgery, and it was a whole thing and whatever. But after that, I started going to acupuncture to take away my cysts. I mean, you can't really like take away a cyst, but you can hopefully decrease them so they don't burst or don't come back. So that's what I started doing. I go to Art of Chinese Healing in Santa Monica in LA. They are angels, truly the sweetest. Not going to lie, I hate getting pricked with needles. This is something that is so uncomfortable and not fun to me. I hate it. They go in your stomach, they go in your face, they go in your back. Like it's not cute, it's not fun. But the ladies there are so sweet, so they make it tolerable. And then I also do cupping on my legs, which is honestly life-changing. I look so crazy when I do it, but it's really good. Sorry, soup break. Yeah, and I think just in life, the approach that I've taken is self-care, mental health first, because truly if you're stressed, it's going to come out in different ways in your body. So now I think of my workouts as, what does my body need today? Does my body need a little bit of fresh air and a walk and a stretch? Do I feel like I want to gain, some strength and some muscle and do some reformer Pilates or do a core workout? And I really enjoy it. I do try and walk a lot as much as I can, because I think walking is amazing. And then with food, I also think of that as what's going to help my body feel good today and what's going to help my cravings, because I think if you avoid your cravings, you're just going to want all the sweets. You're going to want all the stuff. So incorporating all of that into your diet while also having so much protein and so many healthy fats and so many vegetables, like a little bit of bread is not going to kill you. A little bit of chocolate's not going to kill you. A little bit of Taco Bell, it's not going to kill you. And honestly, my life truly has completely changed. My skin has never been better. I've never felt like I have more energy. My periods are not painful. Sadly, my boobs went to their normal size. Unfortunately, we cried. Boob job loading. No, I'm just kidding. I'm too scared for that. But yeah, and honestly, my inflammation in such a short amount of time went just zoop. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm back to myself. And that's just my journey. That's just what worked for me. But I'm definitely always here. If anyone has questions, I can make a part 2. I definitely want to go into maybe a part 2 of like a day in my life as a girl with PCOS, because I think this would be so helpful for myself when I was going through it. And it's sad. Like, I mean, when I got diagnosed at the gynecologist's a year and a half ago, I left sobbing. Like, I literally left sobbing because I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna feel puffy and inflamed and gross and tired and in pain, and I'm never gonna be able to have kids and like all this stuff. And like, you will not feel like that for the rest of your life. And also, girlies, people with PCOS can have kids, just so we know. You just gotta manage your hormones, so that's something to not stress about. But yeah, let me know if anyone has any questions. I'm gonna finish the rest of my soup and my sushi from the sick girl over here. Cuddle my kitten. Can you see him? Come say hi, mamas. I just got back, and so he's really obsessed with me right now. I missed him. I missed my boy. Oh, I missed my Stormy. I sound crazy. Okay. Bye, guys.